Dominicans, who is begging you people to be blacks? Because I don't know where this conversation is actually coming from. A lot of them are coming out now to be like, do not relate us with black. Do not call us black. We are not blacks. We are Dominican. Like, who want you guys to be black? Because the last time I checked, you see this melanin popping skin is not looking out for any extra burden to add. Adding you to black community is even more a burden. You understand? We have a lot as blacks that we're already dealing with. So I don't know where this particular trend is now coming from. And it has been trending for the past 3 days where Dominicans are now coming out to air out their opinion and say we are not blacks, don't associate us with black, we don't want to have anything to do with blacks. Anyways, let's hear their reasons in this particular video and let me know what your thoughts is in the comment section. Are you begging them as a black person for them to actually come and accept that you are black? What is the advantages that they are going to be contributing to the black community? Let me know in the comment section. My name is Sonia. If this is the first time you're tuning in, do what, subscribe, like this video, drop in your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And guys, this is just for educational purposes. Let me go out and roll out the clips I have for you guys, and then I'll be back with commentaries. With that being said, let's dive right into this video.
As a Dominican who grew up in Dominican Republic, hearing other people saying that we are racist, it sounds stupid. And I'm gonna let you know why. I know everyone has different opinions. If you think different than me, I don't care. I'm just gonna say what I think. And if you want to say something in the comments, that's up to you. I'm saying this in English because I know all Dominicans know what I'm talking about, but I'm saying it for the people who live here in United States, for people who doesn't understand what we say that we are Dominican but not black. As I understand, for the time that I've been living here in United States, you guys are divided in two races, African Americans and white. We don't have that in Dominican Republic. No matter what's your color, if you're white, if you're black, if you're light skinned, you just Dominican. We just have one race, which is Dominican. We are not divided into races. That's why we say what we are not black. We're not white. We're not light skinned. We're just Dominicans. That's the only race we have over there. Since when I was a kid, if somebody calls you black, if somebody calls you white and sweet, whatever thing, we're not gonna get offended for that. Nobody gets offended for that. We call each other's black. We call each other like however we want. We're not, I will say we're not sensitive in that point. Like if you call me black, I'm gonna get offended. We don't. And I totally understand that here in United States is a whole different story. It's something totally different that I respect, obviously. I'm not gonna go out on the street calling everyone the same way I used to call when I was back in the art, because it's a different country, it's a different culture. But my point with this is that that's the reason we don't say we are black. We just say we're Dominican. We are a mixed country from Europe, from Africa, from from a lot of countries. Like we are mixed. We don't have a specific race. So that's why all those races together becomes in a Dominican. That's why we can't be racist, because we have all the race on our bodies. So it doesn't make sense for me to be racist with somebody when I have all the races on my body. So that's why we say we just Dominican. We're not white, we're not black, we just Dominican. That's it.
Was at work and someone asked, "Oh, what are you?" And I said, "I'm Dominican." And they're like, "Oh, so you're black?" I said, "No, I'm Dominican." So have you ever wondered why so many Dominicans say, "I'm not black, I'm Dominican"? Trust me, it's not racism, it's just context. We all know in the US, black identity was shaped by slavery, segregation, and the civil rights struggle. But in the Dominican Republic, identity comes from mestizaje, which is a mix of African, European, and indigenous roots. So we have a mixture of all three. So here people say, I'm Dominican first, and everything else comes after. So I represent Dominican Republic, hence I'm Dominican. So in the US, race is often seen as black or white, but in the Caribbean, it's a bit more complicated. There we have morenito, indio, canela, trigueñito, blanco, rubio, and so we have multiple ways that people can describe themselves by the color of their skin, not by the race, ethnic, and all of that, or descent that they represent, because we identify as Dominican. The issue comes when people in the US expect Dominicans to fit into one racial category by forcing someone to adapt to an outside label that doesn't build unity, it more so creates conflict. Because I do not identify as black, I identify as Dominican because it's a mixture of three bloods. So by forcing me to fit into one category, you're asking me to renounce to my other blood, which is my European blood and my indigenous root. We are not denying that we have African blood. We are just saying that we are a mixture of the three, making us mestizo. So that's why we identify as the national pride as opposed to, oh, I am black. In the DR, we use black more so as the color of your skin. And here, it's more so to identify your race, your ethnicity, your descent. But in the DR, it's completely different. So instead of forcing someone to fit into your category, let's just let them identify themselves as they please. And that's going to build more unity amongst different cultures. Thank you.
Bueno, hoy voy a explicar la narrativa behind I'm not black, I'm Dominican. It's been an ongoing joke like, oh, Dominicans do not claim to be black because their color is. It is true that the Dominican Republic and many Dominican people suffer from colorism. But let me tell you the meaning behind that phrase, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. When many Dominicans move to United States, usually, we get asked where are we from. And the people that get asked that specific question are usually Dominicans that look my skin's color. When you ask someone from Latin America, we usually don't respond with race because I think it's pretty obvious. When you ask someone from Latin America, where you from, we usually say our country. So in case somebody asks me, oh, where are you from? My case, I will say I'm from Argentina and I'm from Dominican Republic also. But usually when people ask that question, it's with a second-handed, backhanded, racism behind it. They will say, oh, where are you from? And you say, oh, I'm from the Dominican Republic. And they will be like, aren't you black? And we will say, no, I wasn't born in America. I'm Dominican. And that will create a whole narrative of, oh, you cannot be Dominican because you're black. And I've been through that because I went to high school in America. And then that's exactly how it went. Oh, Nina, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Argentina and Dominican
You
Republic.
can't speak Spanish,
Mira,
you're
hija de tu
black.
maldita madre, ¿cómo tú me vas a decir a mí que yo no hablo español, coñazo? Oh my God, you do speak Spanish. And so on will go like that. That's why many Dominicans get mad about the fact that people don't believe they're Dominican because they don't fit into the stereotype of the light skin, curly hair, 5'5" Dominican people they are like in America. I'm pretty sure we know we are dark skinned, babe. We have a mirror. We have a mirror. But now, when you trying to degrade our nationality because our skin color, that's when it becomes a problem. That's where Dominicans were like, bro, I'm not black. I'm not an African American. I'm Dominican. I speak Spanish. Soy de la cultura latina. And that's where that phrase come from. Disclaimer, there's still a lot of Dominicans that are like colorist as fuck, but like that specific phrase comes from that specific experiences. Yay, thank you.
I'm not black, I'm Dominican. Yes, let's debunk that. I know in American culture, American history, there has been a lot of trials and tribulations in regards to slavery, segregation, a lot of tactics in order to kind of like break the slave. And you should read Willie Lynch, The Making of the Slave. So the reason why I actually named this scripture is because we have to examine ourselves and really understand how the human mind works and how certain tactics were used or utilized to basically break the human mind, separate all the groups in different pieces to a point that now we see differences as something bad rather than something good. It is very important to really understand the tools that were utilized during that time to really break the human mind and to add more division than to unite everyone else. And being part of the Dominican diaspora here in the United States specifically, I know for a fact that you have encountered this issue or this whole entire dilemma. We do understand both aspects of the world because obviously I was raised here in the United States. So I do understand American history and do understand Dominican history. So I understand where the bridge collides in that sense. I do have a lot of Black culture within, also that was a big part of my personal influence as part of the diaspora. When we say we are Dominican, we are now Black. And obviously I don't use that term. I say I am Dominican. But when I say I'm Dominican, is that I understand that I come from a mixed race. Dominicans are composed of Spaniards, Europeans, Taino, which are the natives from the island, and also a lot of African. We also encounter a lot of African slaves in our history that was sent to the Hispaniola. And we do understand that that is part of our culture. And as a culture, we evolved to become something united as becoming Dominican rather than saying I'm based on my skin color. We are Dominican as a culture. We are Dominican as a race, as everything. So when we say we are Dominican, we carry the whole entire weight of all the influences that came to the island and that really composed what we are today. Our culture, our music, our food, everything, our dance is part of all these different influences that came into the island that made what we are today. And if you notice, there's certain areas in the Dominican Republic, people could be a little more light-skinned, other areas that are more Taino, Indian looking, and other areas that are more Black and has more of the Black heritage. You see it in our music, especially in our folkloric music, from congos, from palo, even in modern bachata. There's a lot of percussion instruments, guira, which is from Tainos, the drums, which is more of the African heritage, and the guitar, which is more of the Spanish heritage. So we are mixed within everything in our society, from the music, from dance, from culture, the way we speak, our language. And we have to emphasize that we are Dominicans because we are part of all these influences that came to us. So to close this chapter, we are a mixed race, and we acknowledge the fact that we are a mixed race. And in today's modern world, you see that throughout Latin America, we have had slavery pass through every country out there. We cannot disregard the fact that all these interactions, all these different cultures are made part of what we are today from every aspect in our lives and every aspect in our culture. So no one should get offended in the sense that, a Dominican says, I am Dominican. In a sense, you are limiting or basically removing the aspect that this culture has been influenced by many different areas. So the moment they say Dominican, it's basically stating you need to understand that I have many different influences that makes what I call Dominican. So it's not something of this diminishing any other culture or anything else. It's also the fact that we are accepting the fact that we are a mixed race and we have mixed influences. So let's close the chapter with that one. At the end of the day, we are the human race, and that's what really matters. Yes, we are composed of different cultures, and I think that's the beauty of the whole entire world is that we bring something to the table, different music, different food, different culture in general. So we should just cherish that as a human race, we are very diverse, and then we bring different things into the table. So with that, I'm going to end this video. Take care, guys. Much love.
I'm not Black, I'm Dominican. This is exactly why us Dominicans say that. Look at this right here, people. This is my people. These are Dominican people. We got Big Papi Ortiz up there. We got Aaron, Anthony Santos. Don't recognize the rest, but believe me when I tell you, they're part Dominican too, man. I don't know them. They look famous. I don't know who knows who cares, right? The point I'm trying to make to you people is, right, we come here to America to try to group us into Black or this and that and try to divide us in that way. And then when we say we don't see skin color, they don't believe us. This is why we don't see skin color, because Big Papi Ortiz could be my uncle, Eva could be his younger brother, and Anthony Santos could be the middle child, and I could be a nephew. Same family,
Same two parents, nobody cheated. Because at the end of the day, that's what the Dominican people are, man. We are a genetic combination of the European, the African, and the Taino, Indian, the indigenous people of the Caribbean. People, man, you can't group us into black and white because we are not that. We're never going to identify that. We're never going to understand you, man. But here in America, they try to push that shit on you. Like, oh, what are you talking about, man? You ain't black, you Dominican, you look like me. Nah, homie. Big Papi Oti ain't black, he Dominican. Anthony Santo ain't black, he Dominican. Eva ain't black, he Dominican. I'm Dominican, man. Leave us the fuck alone, people. Porque yo soy dominicano, 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 dominicano.
Dominicans be like, I'm not black. Meanwhile, the picture of their abuelita in the living room.
Do you want to know why most Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, particularly the Afro-Latinos, the black Latinos, don't like to claim blackness or African or Afrocentrism? You want to know why? Because when slavery was going on, the breaking of the slave was so horrendous in the Caribbean, you couldn't imagine. Not to say over in the United States and in the southern plantations, we didn't have our fair share of nightmares. Best believe we did. But in the Caribbean, it was a totally different beast. We were in the Caribbean in 1555, and we got fucked up out there. Really fucked up out there. They put up something called the caste system, which is racial hierarchy. Did you know that? Spanish people, white Spanish people, then people born in New Spain of Spanish descent, mestizos, basically Spanish and Native American descent, Native American, then African. So don't tell me there's no such thing as a race thing in the Caribbean. There is. There's colorism, there's all of that. There's also some things where they want to perfect the race, basically. Don't date anybody darker, or Africano, or Negro. So you be careful of that. So that's taught in the Caribbean. Also, another factor is, because they're also very broken and suffering from self-hatred, what happens is, during the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, when a lot of people from the Caribbean were migrating, immigrating to America, what was going on in America at the time? Segregation, Jim Crow. The Civil Rights Movement was just starting to kick off a little bit. So a lot of our Afro-Latino brothers and sisters was witness what African Americans were going through. And you know what? They didn't want no piece of that. So to escape persecution, I'm Hispanic, I'm Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican. That's how it came to be. That's how it came to be.
I know black, I Dominican. Okay. People are so confused about this. People that say that, they're saying that they are not culturally black. The same way that you would point to a white person and say, you're European, you're Irish, and they would say, oh no, I'm American. No. It's the same way. Because that DNA test result, baby, 50% Nigerian, but...
Reminder that Dominicans are not black. We are not black, and no matter how much black Americans cry about it, we are not black. We will never be black. Yes, I look black, but we are not black. And it's just a reminder to black Americans who are so pathetically forcing Dominicans to label themselves as black. We keep telling them we have our own culture. We know black, papi. They still force this on us. So just a reminder, Dominicans are not black, period.
When the ones that actually claim their blackness, sorry guys, but some of you guys be like, I know black, imposible, I know black, I'm Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican, I know black, be looking just like me, be having the same hair, I'd be touching it like, it's not the same, papi, it's not the same. They try to salsa that shit off. I'd be like, no, it's not the same. I know black, negro nunca, I know no, nunca, I know black. I'm like, no, you black, no, I know black. Dominica. I go, I know, but you're black. No, papi. I know black. No, black.
Are black, Papo.
I'm not black, Dominican.
Papo, you're black.
I'm not black, Dominican.
Papo, you're black.
No, I'm not black, Dominican.
Papo, you're not Dominican, you black.
I'm not black, Dominican.
You Dominican, I'm black.
No, black, Dominican.
Okay.
Now, the funny thing about all this is that y'all know I'd done part 1 on this, which was quite interesting. So basically what I'm gathering from a lot of these videos where Dominicans are saying that they're not black is they are saying that the only black people on this earth are American blacks. Those are the only black people on this earth. There are no other black people. So the word black is synonymous with American or African American, which is strange to me, but I'll let you have it. This whole concept of race is just funny in itself, but hey. What are you going to do? Let's get into some more clips, though. Let's go.
When I got racially profiled, and when I almost got shot by a cop, he did not ask me, are you Dominican? He did not ask me, what is your race? He looked at me and assumed I was a black woman in America. So I want you to look at yourself right now in the mirror and come to your fucking senses. Because nobody is going to sit here and ask you, oh, what are you? Before they pull the trigger. No one is going to ask you, what is your nationality, before they pull that trigger. Dominicans are black. And instead of running away from our blackness at a time like this, we need to embrace that shit. Because that is the only thing that's going to get us through these times. The only difference between me and a Haitian, me and a Jamaican, me and a Cuban and a Puerto Rican is a boat stop.
No, because this is so real, like so real. And honestly, I just want to talk about it. Like, let's just talk about it. Because I was going to make a video, but I can tell I made a lot of Dominicans press my comments. So let's talk about it. So the first comments I want to address are the ones that are basically saying, well, technically we aren't black because we're mixed. I just want to make a disclaimer. I'm Haitian and I always get mistaken for being Dominican. People think I'm Dominican all of the time. The reason for that is the fact that if you go to the DR, most people are looking like me. So it's just so crazy to me how there are people in my comments who look like they could be my sister and are still denying that they're black in any shape or form. And don't get me wrong, I get it. There are people that are white or white passing in the Dominican Republic. So yes, technically, genetically, it would be incorrect to call them black. And look, I'm gonna be so real, like there's a serious colorism problem, and I'm not even gonna just say it's in the DR because it's in the Caribbean in general. We have our own set of issues in Haiti. We literally have names for different types of skin complexions in Haiti. It's so crazy to the point where even light-skinned people are divided based on physical attributes. So light-skinned people with Afrocentric features and curly hair are looked at a lower level than light-skinned people with straighter hair and white. So not only do we have a colorist problem, but now your features also contribute to how black you are and therefore where you're placed in the social hierarchy. So I'm not even gonna sit here and just say it's just the DR because it's definitely not. But my point is that at the end of the day, we have the same ancestors. Haiti and the Dominican Republic were the exact same country. It was Hispaniola. That's what it was before it was the DR and before it was Haiti. The West African slaves that were brought into Hispaniola, they're the same slaves. So we have the exact same West African genetic makeup. We even both have Taino mixed in both of us. Haitians and Dominicans have Taino blood. Literally the only difference is that the Dominican Republic had a colorist dictator who whitewashed the country and made y'all more mixed. But that also doesn't erase all of your black DNA and heritage that you had before that. And to be real, at the end of the day, I don't really care what people identify as. You could say you're a fucking tree for all I care. But I'm just saying you can't erase your history. You can't erase your past. And for you to be so clearly black and just deny it, it says a lot about your mentality and the fact that you're playing into this colorist mindset, choosing to be anything but black because at the end of the day, black is just seen as this very terrible thing and offensive.
Shout out to that young lady. She's absolutely right. You had indigenous people on that island first, and they came from the same region in terms of West Africa when they dropped the folks off there. But the whole whitewashing, it is what it is. This whole mindset, colonialism, spreading the Roman Empire, you know, as much as you guys say, well, it's Spain, it's Portugal, whatever. It's all of these are offshoots of the Roman Empire. So at the end of the day, it's unfortunate that people are arguing about this or talking about it, but at the end of the day, hey, you identify with whatever you want to identify as, but reality is reality. But we have a sister here, she's a dark-skinned Dominican, who's talking about the situation at hand, that a lot of people who look like her, they say, well, you're Afro-Latina, you're Spanish-speaking. They're shocked that she's a black woman that speaks Spanish. So let's get into what she has to say. Let's go.
Bueno, hoy voy a explicar la narrativa behind I'm not black, I'm Dominican. It's been an ongoing joke like, oh, Dominicans do not claim to be black because their color is. It is true that Dominican Republic and many Dominican people suffer from colorism. But let me tell you the meaning behind that phrase, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. When many Dominicans move to United States, usually, we get asked where are we from. And the people that get asked that specific question are usually Dominicans that look my skin's color. When you ask someone from Latin America, we usually don't respond with race because I think it's pretty obvious. When you ask someone from Latin America, where you from, we usually say our country. So in case somebody asks me, oh, where are you from? My case, I will say I'm from Argentina and I'm from Dominican Republic also. But usually when people ask that question, it's with a second-handed, backhanded, racism behind it. They will say, oh, where are you from? And you say, oh, I'm from the Dominican Republic. And they will be like, aren't you black? And we will say, no, I wasn't born in America. I'm Dominican. And that will create a whole narrative of, oh, you cannot be Dominican because you're black. And I've been through that because I went to high school in America. And then that's exactly how it went. Oh, Nina, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Argentina and Dominican
You
Republic.
can't speak Spanish,
Mira, hija
you're
de tu
black.
maldita madre, ¿cómo tú me vas a decir a mí que yo no hablo español, coñazo? Oh my God, you do speak Spanish. And so on will go like that. That's why many Dominicans get mad about the fact that people don't believe they're Dominican because they don't fit into the stereotype of the light skin, curly hair, 5'5" Dominican people they are like in America. I'm pretty sure we know we are dark skinned, babe. We have a mirror. We have a mirror. But now, when you trying to degrade our nationality because our skin color, that's when it becomes a problem. That's where Dominicans were like, bro, I'm not black. I'm not an African American. I'm Dominican. I speak Spanish. Soy de la cultura latina. And that's where that phrase come from. Disclaimer, there's still a lot of Dominicans that are like colorist as fuck, but like that specific phrase comes from that specific experiences. Yay, thank you.
I hear you, baby. But nobody is saying that you're African American. They're just saying that you're black. Black is not synonymous with African American. The majority of people on this earth are black. Just to be honest with you. Let's just keep it at that. You can say, well, GR, what about China? Come on, man. Yo, listen, man. We just have to be honest about these things, guys. And if you're Dominican, you're Dominican. If you're from Senegal, you're from Senegal. If you're from Jamaica, you're from Jamaica. If you're Trinidad, you're Trinidad. It is what it is, man. But at the end of the day,
As at this point, I just want to say the black community already have a lot of people for them to even be adding Dominicans to it, right? And if I should really understand where these Dominicans are coming from, they're trying to explain and let us understand that the US system is divided by race, segregation, Jim Crow, and so on and so forth. But on their own end, they don't see each other as race. They see each other as one. They are trying to make us understand that they communicate more, love more, bond more with their self compared to American, where we have the white race and then we have the black race, where racism is in the highest level. So they're trying to make us understand that they are not saying it because they are racist, but they are saying it because they don't want Dominicans to have that illusion of, oh, you are white or you are black. Now, what did I see in all of this context? In all of this context, I see no reasons why it should even be debated. You guys have already been crying that you people are not blacks. And to be honest, the black community is full already because there is no even space for them to start adding Dominicans into black community. We understand that the Dominicans want to respect their culture, they want to respect their tradition, they want to be recognized as people that are well communicated, well togetherness, well bonded together as one, and they are not segregated or separated by race. It's not a bad thing. Go ahead. Do what you think it is best for your culture. Do what you think it is best for you. But I hope that in as much as a lot of you guys are coming online to say this, I hope that people that are actually not coming online should also have the same perspective. Because at the end of the day, if they do not have the same perspective, that is when the problem begins. You understand? So if I see a black skinned person, as far as I'm concerned, even if you like, be a Dominican, be a this, I will still tell you that you are black. It's as simple as that. And if I see a white person, be it you are a Dominican or you're not a Dominican, you are white. You cannot run from that fact. You're just trying to make, the Dominicans are just trying to make things suit their narratives and make things look like they are the most unique, most communicated, most loved people that are bonded together. But I'm not seeing it like that. Even when people say you are black, it doesn't mean that you are no longer Dominicans. It means you can still be Dominican, but you are black or you're white. So saying that the American space is dominated by race and you people's own don't want it to be like that is quite understanding. And I really do not have any issue with this. Like, I'm even happy that we are getting some people to be reduced from the people that look like me. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode, and this is just for educational purposes, not to come here bash anyone or give anyone troubles. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys, I love you. Mwah.